artists who are willing to go inside to transform their self-image to be the mage, the magi who moved the energy of the E and I to see that we are the ones who came here to be ourselves fully, not trying to be anything other than we are, and having the option to choose love or fear every time we choose how we carry on. I say to you, it's true that you can do whatever you feel called to, and it's also true that you have got to be the one you've been waiting for. Once you are, then you can find someone who has done the inner work too, and then you can be a vibrational match to the one you want to share your life with. And if you do the inner work, it's not easy, but in the end you'll be more whole, which is what integrity is actually, when we see it as the way we come into greater wholeness, to be evergreen, no longer needing to feed the stream that leads to death. The death cult is not the cult you are, culture you are actually part of, but you wouldn't necessarily saw it to be that way before, but now you can. It's true, you are the man or woman who can stand as who and whose you truly are, and if you are willing to be the star of your own life, that would be nice. Don't you see how we have been deceived? I'd love for you to believe in yourself fully, because if you can, then you'll bring about the art song only you can bring forward. So I wish that you'll at least try and no longer hide. It's true, I hope that you can be the one you've been waiting for, which means taking chances to be who you came here to be fully. Look right or left if you must, but please trust New York is there, and you'll have to share your point of view to those who'd want you to convert it into the POV, which would make it seem poverty is the focus of the point of view. But you know it don't need to be true. It don't need to be, no need to be true. It's true that you can do what only you thought before someone else needed to do. Instead you now see you can do it for yourself. 6'11", I said then. Pathfinder is on my left now, and traffic's moving on my right, and the Matrix is right in front of me. So I say that we face it straight on, and I'm grateful it's not heading towards me, because if that were the scene, well, I'd not be sure how to reconvene in that moment once I had seen the scene with the C for the creativity. Though we're called to bring forth the creativity that we bring forward. It's true that you can do what you came here to do if only you believe in your own yourself to speak up and to say what is on your heart, not just on your mind, what you may find. Sometimes the things on our mind are actually things that might not actually be true. And when we do realize that, then we will see how sometimes we deceive ourselves. I believe it's time for me to offer publicly an apology for not realizing in the sacred sojourn of the soul, choosing love is what the call's actually for. I didn't see it before, but love was lacking in mine own heart, the inner kingdom, where I started to be like Queen Elsa. You might be able to relate, because I think that most of us have developed some icy walls around our heart that are called now to thaw. I know it's with awe. How have we chose fear instead of really daring to be near one another, who are the actual dots that needed to be connected. Information was not a details thing at all, but instead about frequency. Don't you see how frequently we frequent the frequency we emit? Oh shit, I said it, and it's so true. It's like, oh my, oh me, oh my, oh gosh. Where do you go if you don't believe in gosh? Oh heck, of course. So don't we see how words have been used to deceive you and me too? Because we do the best we know how to until we grow up to know better. Because we learned to trust the intuition we must adhere to, because it's the one our soul hired ahead of time to guide us. The tuition inbuilt intuition. Shilt. You shield your sword and shield. Should you shield anything? I don't know what it actually means, but maybe it does. I know words are significant, for they are the spells that we cast into our lives to write the sentences we live or die by. Life or death sentences. Don't you see how the Santa Claus, I just mean sentence clause, though we create our sentences by actually need to have a subject and verb, which means you don't become the thing you're said to be doing. As a status, we must stand. I'll always go back to that. As a man or woman, and woman, standing here as the title of man, it is said to be the what the woman stands for. But what I know is that when they dig up my corpse, which I thought before maybe I should get cremated and buried at the bottom of a tree so my ashes could feed a tree. I'd love it to be a willow tree, but now I don't know if I want to be actually altered in the 3D, because after history is over, we'll see it's ours. We stand with Ukraine. UK rain is in the word, which is maybe why the UK's been exited from the Europe we knew before to include that kingdom. But now the reign of the UK is said to be in Ukraine, which is why we must remain willing to see the way we've been deceived with the spells that have been cast to last and keep us from love. Oh, what if we saw that when this war. We bear arms for them in their name and fight for what they claim to be true, even if the BS belief systems we subscribe to don't match. If they scribe the check that makes us wreck our conscience, well, oh then heck is where we'll go, because we didn't believe in gosh. But what if we saw the grand overall designer of our worlds is what we actually are? What if you star in your own show? What if you know you can go all the way to where you need to be to see what you need to evolve? Here's where it gets interesting. Genetically, you see, we who have been biologically connected because the bloodlines we came through and the ancestors we shared, so that we would care for those who wouldn't dare go where we choose to go. They didn't think it was possible, maybe because they lost the part of them that could put an apostrophe between the I am. So it became I'm possible instead, me oh my. Again, I try to show you the way I see the world. It's different from most, but what I know is that I've let the gnosis toes off me, even though I just wanted people to spy the ways we've been deceived collectively. I'm not alone, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And if you wanna claim that or try to say I need to have my sanity checked, you'll have to put your name on that order in writing, because I'm gonna use it to make a claim against your name for causing me harm, loss, and participating in fraud. Because if you think someone who can do what I am doing here without actually filtering what I'm trying to share, then you would see my brain works faster than most, because I've challenged the gnosis of the host that would become the ghost of the corpse that would like to orate the rules it can apply to me. But I say no, I'm a woman who knows who and whose I am, so therefore you cannot keep me in the land of liabilities while you keep your suit on to pull cards out from these sleeves you would keep them hidden under. If I didn't call you on your shit and say to play with me, you must be real, which means to heal the emotions you don't wanna feel. I know it's uncomfortable to face yourself in the end, but what's true as well is that if you don't now, then when will you do what you came here to do while you're here? The more of yourself you call back, the more of yourself you get to leave. When you go, in fact, you'll see The fake or false, fictitious act, a fact might help you believe instead of being. You choose leaving instead, for believing means you are no longer able to choose of your own accord, for then you cannot afford to diverge off of what was said to be the way before, and now we see the way we've been deceived and taught to believe ourselves to be less than we are, when the truth is you're a star who came here to be yourself fully. And the more you can stand in your power, knowing the truth instead of what the status applied to you, which includes a label. I don't accept no labels. I don't belong to any particular groups, though I do go into many, because that's how we find the ones we need to be connected to. So we escape the matrix where Matrix, because she didn't know better and now she does. That's what was the truth, and now we see that we could be the ones who receive ourselves fully in the moment when we need it. That's it. I'm gonna go today and simply say, the more of yourself you call back to the present, you have to see there will be emotional scar tissue to work through to get there, because you've got energy and motion suppressed in a moment before now, and now's all we've got to move it all. So when it comes back to the moment when we do what we came here to do, like I do, where I connect with people and sing songs to them, it's true they love to play in the way they see me doing, and so I hope you see the way we have been deceived to believe we are more or less than what we are. And if I actually get next to him again, I'll roll down my window and make a friend as I then get to actually be myself fully with others who love to see someone being random with the way we play with the moment. It's true, that's what I'm doing, and so here I go. Lover J, namaste. Go and bless someone today, okay? I wish for that for you, because if you do it and others too, then by the end, when we all find a friend doing the same, we'll find the world's a better place, because we started the ripple effect that we created. It's true, and so I say to you, I guess it's weird to see a woman singing happily in her own car. I don't mind being that one, and some would think it's fun and others find it weird, but in the end I'm gonna keep doing it because it speaks to me. And when something calls your heart, stick with that. That's where you'll start getting yourself to a different state, and maybe we'll reach a plasma level. Ooh, 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 ooh. 22 was where it was, but instead I'll go for 22, 23.